was like, fuck, this is probably like the only really good thing I'm good at doing. Do you know what I mean? That I need to like invest my time in. And then I started like reaching out and trying to like find other people who were like-minded and were like doing shows. I reached out to Izzy. Izzy's the man. Shout out to fucking Izzy.
Big shout out to Izzy,
Love
man.
Izzy. But yeah, friggin' he was like, and it wasn't even his really. It wasn't really his whole persona of like, oh, you have to sound a certain way. But he kind of more or less was like, look, a lot of people don't like it if you like in the scene if you try to sound like something you're not, and it made total sense to me. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's a big thing. It's got to make sense to you to really make you fucking, I think, respect it.
So it wasn't him saying like, you know, like, oh, if you try to rap American, it was more or less like he kind of like showed like he gave me the rundown. You know what I mean? He helped me too. Like we've like getting on. He put me on some of my first. He put me on my very first show.
Where was that at?
That was at Tattersalls in Penrith. The Tattersalls.
Oh shit!
There was just like an open mic.
Tattersalls in Penrith got a shout a couple of weeks ago. What was that for?
But like, shout out to them because they were getting sponsored by Alizé, and I was like fucking getting litty as fuck off that.
That's how they keep you, bro. They just keep you fucking pumped with the drinks.
They gave me they started off giving me like 5 or 10 tokens, and I ended up with like 20, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, fuck, I want to be a rapper forever. Fuck.
Yeah. This is my first foot in the door. If this is what it's gonna be like, I'm killing it. Free drinks.
Man, shout out to Izzy. But that's funny, man, because Izzy's always been a West dude.
Yeah.
So how did you guys make that connect?
Fuck, to be honest, no, actually, I do know. Through this organisation, which
because he does youth work as well.
Which I won't plug because I don't think they deserve it. But anyways, there was a guy.
Some shonky cunts out there, isn't
there?
There
There was a guy that worked for him, and I reached out to him, and I was like, bro, I've been working, like, and for me, like, I reached out to these people as a youngin', like, as well as like, 19, 20, and all I wanted to do was like record. Like I wanted to do it, and I like pretty much had the door shut in my face, kind of thing. Like
they did the Rexy fucking.
No, so I found another way to do it, and I found another studio just down the road, and started spending my money there and getting it done, and then once I started having enough content there to like kind of put together a live set, I reached out to this person that I met previously, and I was like, yo, who can I hit up in the scene to try and like get shows? Like I want to do shows. I want to like, you know, blah blah blah. And then I met Izzy, and Izzy pretty much told me straight up, like, you know, you need to come out and meet people, otherwise you're not gonna fucking, you know what I mean?
That's mad guidance though, bro, because like it's like you can be talented as fuck, but if you're rapping to yourself in your bedroom, like who cares?
That's exactly right, yeah. And then
props to Izzy, bro.
And then that went well for a while. Like I enjoyed doing the shows and that, but like it just, like for me, it kind of got to a point where it was like I felt like it was too much. It was me investing too much time into doing shows that weren't really gaining traction for me, if that makes sense. No diss to anyone, but like
no, like you're right. Like if you do the same fucking show, and day in and day out to the same fucking crowd and the same bunch of 20 people
and the same fucking venue, and it's
like you got to get it
it's
around.
It's like rappers rapping to rappers.
rappers rapping about what's happening rapping.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's what it was. And then like I just took a step back and did my thing, and then I linked up with a DJ who a well-known DJ who I'm not going to mention as well, but yeah, he
fucks up half of my questions. Bro, listen, okay, I'm going to talk about, okay, so after Izzy, so who was the other notable, who's another notable?
Well, I linked up with a cat named Victor
Lopez, yep, because
which held it down, which he, look, I'll give him respect in a sense where, like, look, he held it down for a long time, like, he did help me, and he did, like, you know, like, he did offer me a lot of guidance and like help me with a few things and that, but
how did it transition? But and like with all, you know, all due respect to the Sitch and all that, but like, you know, you're plugging down one lane with Izzy.
Yeah.
And then you got to expand. So like I'm just trying to think from like a young cat's mentality, because like I said, bro, I've known you for a while.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've sort of noticed about you as well is you're pretty self-motivated, you wake yourself up in the morning, bro, irrespective of what the fuck's going on in your life.
Yeah.
And so how did you transition to be like, all right, cool, well, I've knocked on this cunt's door and I've been in touch with Izzy and I've sort of exhausted that, and you still got mad love for Izzy and you always had his back.
I'm always going to have mad love for Izzy. Always.
So how do you transition to like maybe hooking up and meeting someone like Lopez and doing shows with him?
Funny thing is, he at the time, I don't know if he still is, he was a big stoner and he needed weed and he needed a studio, and I had a studio, and then he heard my music and he's like, yo, do you want to come on the road with me? And then I went on the road with him. The first tour I did with him was with Spice One.
I remember.
Yeah, Spice One. You remember that? You remember that shit? You remember that shit?
But didn't you guys hit a kangaroo?
That was before. That was after. I think that was before or after. And I remember joking with Spice One too, because Spice One's from the States, and he's telling me like stories of like how he used to like have to like duck down in his house from flying bullets coming through the window. And I'm like, yeah, no, you don't have to worry about that over here. You just got to worry about flying kangaroos flying through the window. You know what I mean? Like,
bro.
Yeah.
I heard that story and it fucking floored me.
If Lopez can still hire a car from any hire car agency now, I would be very fucking surprised.
For you would have been immersed all of a sudden from like up and coming and trying to be taken serious by Australian MCs and jumping on cyphers to like bang, man, in a short fucking period of time.
Yeah.
You're touring with a fucking OG in rap.
Yeah, like
getting like this knowledge. Like how was that? And like what did you take from that tour?
That was crazy. That was like I don't know. It was so surreal, because it was like. And like I've done a fair few of these sort of tours too. Like I've done Bone Thugs.
Now you have, now you've got fucking a belt of it, bro.
Yeah, but like it's just so cool when you meet them and you're with them and you find out like they don't like it makes it so much more better when they don't have like this whole diva aspect, like you
egos.
know what I mean? Like
they're on the hustle as well.
There's no ego. They're just normal people, and like and they can sit down and talk to you and give you proper guidance too. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, in saying that too, like for me, at that time in my life, when I was like, whoa, like I'm on the road now, like I'm fucking going to Melbourne, I'm going to fucking Cairns, I'm going like fucking like all these places, doing all these crazy shows. I was like, I thought that was going to be like a pivotal point in my career where it was like, now I'm going to start getting noticed. But like, it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? It definitely gives you a lot of like insight, and it gets you like, how do I say it? Like it definitely helps with your confidence and stuff, and like. Yeah,
because you could hold it, bro. Yeah. And they were giving you props for those shows.
Yeah.
They were like, yo, you can fucking flow.
Yeah, 100%. But it definitely didn't help with my trajectory of my career at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I think. Sometimes
not like I thought it would. Anyways,
I think it's true, because some people associate the getting down with like some American cats and particularly some OGs in the game, and like getting some gems and knowledge, and you think other people are going to view that and say like, oh fuck, level of prestige. But if anything, cunts are just like, fuck whatever.
Yeah, fuck this cunt, he got the support slot and we didn't. Motherfucker, who's he came from nowhere.
Fuck off, cunts. T-Wreckz was building. He just fucking had a right conversation before you did, all right? So relax.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you a funny story, bro. I don't know if you heard this one.
Yeah, okay. Shoot
it's got to do with Spice One.
Yeah.
And Easy E's son.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I got it. So Jeff knows this.
I think I know this story, but
Jeff got a call. No, I got a call.
I think
Vic was like, yo, where are you? I go, I don't know, fuck, wherever I was. Why?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we're stuck at the airport.
Yeah.
They can't book our flight.
I know. And
Right.
no. And it was that Kaz. Was it that Kaz chick? Was that oh no, that was a different thing.
Bro. Okay, so I'm like, yo, we got the studio if you want to work.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, because he's like, I don't have money. I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I didn't book a hotel because it wasn't on the budget. Right? So we had Spice One, and this is the hustle. Spice One, fucking Eazy-E's son.
Yeah.
Like literally sleeping in the studio, living in the studio for fucking 24 hours until they can get a flight the next day.
That's like body bag media shit. Motherfuckers camping there all the time. Might as well pitch a fucking tent.
All right, so this one is like a bit more serious. I'm gonna fucking touch on this shit right here because, like, one thing for you and I, and one reason, like, to me, like, you're always the brother, like the bro, you know, like, and I don't say that lightly because you know,
that word gets thrown around too much these days. And
bro, when people say bro, brother, this, that, like, you know, yeah, cool, like, I really, you know, I get it, but
no, but you're a bro. You're one of the bros to me.
One of the bros, and like to give some context to that, like, you know, without going too crazy into it, but you know, I've been pretty public about like my battles with shit, you know, and you know, I had a time in my life where like, yo, because I've always been the guy that's been like. Nah, it's all right, man. Fuck, we can do it. This, that, blah, blah, blah.
Had
you know,
shit together.
I never really felt like what it was like to be fucking low, and for look, because it was a pretty like hazy part of my life.
Yeah.
But I just remember being in this fucking shack down in Wentworthville. There's only a handful of people I remember having a conversation with.
Yeah.
And one of those people were you, bro.
Yeah.
And I remember talking about, it was crazy because, you know, there's a bit of an age difference between us, but then all of a sudden that age gap just really closed, and I couldn't rely on heaps of people at that time. And
maturity too, you know, maturity.
Straight up. Well, experience, you know, life experience. And,
that's right.
And I remember you speaking on this real level playing field with me, you know, and non-discriminatory way with regards to depression and mental health and shit, right?
Yeah.
And to me, bro, that means a lot, and that's why anytime, you know, you're like, yo, we're doing this, I'm just like, you fucking, yeah, we're doing this. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I always had mad love for you for that. And then what was real painful, I suppose, to see was, you know, fast forward a couple of years later, and, you know, we don't need to touch on it too hectic, but you know, the Deceiver launch and you know, which was
a really good night. I enjoyed that. That was a fucking sick night.
It was a crazy night.
I loved that night, man. That was a really good night.
It was, and you know, that really big high was obviously with a real Devo low the next day, and I actually remember chucking in the group chat just to check in because like I saw your post, you know, about your mum, and I was just like, I just was like, fuck, like at first I was like, oh no, like, oh, maybe it's not. And then you find out you know, it's real, and then you're like, okay. And then after that, man, like, you know, you fucking kept pushing, bro. Like, it was really crazy, man. How did you move from that and fucking stay up, man? And
well, for the viewers that don't know what happened, obviously, I'll touch base on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only if you wanted, bro. Like, you know,
like, well, obviously, yeah. Well, as you know, and some of the viewers probably might know, and others might not know. My mum passed away the next day after the Deceiver launch. Yeah. And fucking definitely didn't expect that to happen, and that, but
it was just crazy, bro, because she was at the launch.
Like, she was there. That was like, I think that was like the highlight of her seeing me perform, because it was such a big crowd. Like, you know, she seen me kill it. She had a fucking mad night. Like, she had a really good night. It was just weird that the next day that happened. But yeah, so fucking, I don't know, man. Like, to be honest, like, it was a lot of mixed emotions. It was like, I kind of didn't want to rap. I didn't want to do anything. Like, I kind of like, but at the same time, I didn't have an option. I didn't have an option to be weak or to drop the ball, because I've got my little brother Jai. I've got 2 other younger siblings.
Yep.
I've got my daughter. I've got 2 daughters, but at the time I had one.
Yep.
And I just, I had to really step up, I guess, and just be the man. And like I couldn't show anyone that I was struggling with it as much as I would have really liked to. But yeah, fucking the music, I guess it come out in my music. A lot of the pain came out in my music.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I surprised myself even now to this day. Like I've got a whole lot of other bullshit going on in my life that's probably enough to send a lot of normal people off the edge. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And but yeah, like I feel like for me, like I know it doesn't look like it now because of COVID-19, but the gym was a big thing for me. Like I was training every day. I was just trying to like release my energy in a positive way as much as I could, and I kind of tried to like block it out and just like let it out in my music as much as I could, but in real life, not think about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
straight up.
But yeah, I don't know. It helped me. It helped me push harder. I feel like with my music, because I felt like it gave me something else to focus on.
Yeah. Like another motivation.
Well, not even motivation. It just gave me something to take my mind off the fact that I was grieving.
Yeah, true. Okay.
And like, yeah. So
sort of like distraction, but not in a negative way. Like a positive distraction,
like,
a positive focus.
Instead of like, going and getting out and going on a bender. Or some shit, or fucking like.
Because people do that, bro.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like if you would have asked me before it happened, like, what would you do if you lost someone you cared about? I would have definitely said, I'm gonna write myself off, and like I'd probably be in a grave not long after him.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking oath. And people do that, bro.
I know that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. There's been times where it's like, fuck, like, I want to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're teetering on the edge.
I want to see her again and that, but it's like at the same time, I've got my family. They need me. You know what I mean? So
100%, bro.